This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
He's popping up, around Christmas time for Jim Crocket Promotions, and he's off to the races. And that's happening, of course, in December of '84. And when we first see Magnum debut on TV for Jim Crocket, it's a video montage set to the song Born to Be Wild. And Tully Blanchard is the first to begin the challenge Magnum, saying, "Pretty girls and working out in the gym don't win matches." Tully was the perfect heel for a babyface Magnum, was he not?
Yeah, Tully was. They created magic, and you can also say, well, that was great booking, and it was, but the guys that you, as the booker, you envision creating this scenario of effectiveness and markability have got to execute. And you got a kid that's just getting started. He's taking great steps forward, but he's still got a long way to go on his journey, referring to Magnum TA. And then you got the guy with a PhD in being a villain, Tully Blanchard. So underrated.
Yeah.
If I were those kids at AEW, and maybe they do, and I'm not paying attention as much as I should, I'd be picking his brain at every turn in the road. If you're a wrestler, maybe face or heel, because you got to understand the inner workings of both to be effective at one or the other. And Tully was he was on a different level. And they knew, meaning Crockett and Dusty, that if they turned this prize stud over to Tully, Tully would take care of it and help him grow and become more over.
Well, and that's certainly going to be the case. I do think we should mention that Magnum finishes up at the Fairgrounds Pavilion in Tulsa.
Yep.
In a losing effort to the NWA World Champion. So, yeah, Ric Flair and Magnum TA, something we wish we could have seen a few years later. It actually did happen. Eventually, though, Joel Deaton is the opponent that's chosen for Magnum's first match for Jim Crocket Promotions.
Another real good hand, Conrad. Another really solid, real good hand, I'll tell you.
And he made him look real good in all of 15 seconds. That was part of the original Magnum TA quote unquote push, if you will. It was almost Goldberg-esque, right? A generation before Goldberg. Just
using one hold.
Yes.
Using the belly to belly. And he made it work. And that's how you get somebody over. You help them through your creative process, create momentum. And you can't help but create some momentum if your star that you're building is blowing away all his opponents in a matter of seconds with that one move. So a lot of things are accomplished in that regard. He can beat anybody at any time with that one move, including the champion or anybody else.
What do you think about the belly to belly as a finish?
No problem with it. It's a wrestling hold. A lot of old timers like Graham and Watts, and I think Dusty too, knew that it hadn't been overexposed at that point in time. People believed it was real. And so I had no problem with it, because unless you're somebody with a body type like Jerry the Crusher Blackwell, that belly to belly is a pretty effective hold on anybody, because you can apply it to anybody. If you can lock your hands, you can apply the hold. And all they got to do is continue to take their flat backs. It's so amazing, isn't it, how many things end up with a flat back bump?
Yeah.
If you can do that really good, you kind of move yourself along the line.
Talk to me a little bit about whether or not that would work today. Not the belly to belly, but the quick 15-second in and out way to build a guy. Let's get in, let's establish a finish, let's get it over, and let's go home. Could that work in 2021?
I don't know why it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it? Why would you think it would? Because I think you have trepidation.
No, I don't. I mean, I'll be honest. I thought a few weeks ago on the AEW pay-per-view that a go-go was going to knock out Cody right away. I mean, I thought for sure, here it comes. Here comes a big body shot 15, 20 seconds into the match, and that's all she wrote. But obviously that didn't happen. Cody was the better man that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, Conrad, here's the thing. It's largely a matter of execution.
Right.
I know that may be straddling the fence. I'm going to answer your question. Yes, I think it would work today. For it to work today, it would have to be executed properly. But I think that kind of goes along with a lot of things. They got to be executed properly. So absolutely, I think it would work today. It seems like some of those in the creative processes in pro wrestling in general, globally, have lost a lot of patience, and they don't want to feel uncomfortable in allowing something to breathe and to grow. And I think wrestling fans love to see growth. They love to let things breathe. Somebody being on a winning streak. My God, how was Goldberg? How did Goldberg get over?
Yeah, the winning streak.
The winning streak, and quickly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if people bought it, so where would be the cutoff date that they were not going to buy that anymore? Bullshit. Fans are going to buy what's good. If it sucks, they're going to tell you because they know what's good and what's not good.
I guess the question is, why don't we see more of it?
I don't know. I think maybe the trepidation is that it's too old school.
I see.
It's too wrestling.
Well, right away, as soon as Magnum's on the scene for Jim Crocket Promotions, he starts talking about the United States title. Dusty Rhodes is talking about Magnum TA, and he's involved with Tully. Right away, he is a top guy for Jim Crocket Promotions. Sometimes when you see this happen, people look back in hindsight and they say, too much too soon. That was not the case with Magnum, though, was it?
No, it was organic. It felt real. It felt like the right thing to say and do and focus on at that point in time. So it just felt like it was right. And here's the deal. The people were buying it.
Yeah.
There were measurables that one could look to see how much they were buying, whether it be television ratings or tickets sold. But they started responding and buying it. And the other thing that we oftentimes overlook is the crowd response. Magnum was getting as big an ovation as anybody in the territory. I don't care who it was. Biggest anybody in the territory. He was young, he was fresh, he was new, and God knows, like a lot of territories that have older school top baby faces and things, as great as Dusty was, all that charisma and all the love he generated from his fan base, they were ready for an alternative. If they, meaning the fans. It's not pronoun boy here. So, yeah.
Hey, Big Daddy, you got to get excited about saving people money. Woo! Woo!
SaveWithConrad.com. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.